Hey, Amani Scholars, Mr. Garcia over here. So we're ready for this week's music lesson, and we're going to learn how to notate for drum set. Okay, before we start, I want to explain the drum set legend. So for drum set, the way that we look at the staff is different. So on the first space, we have the kick. Second space, we have the tom 3. Third space, we have the snare. Fourth line, we have the second tom. The fourth space, we have the first tom. Space above the staff, we have the hi-hat. A line above the staff, we have the crash. And the acrostic is on the third space with an X, but we're not going to use that in this lesson. And the hi-hat foot, a space below the staff. Now, the most important ones for this lesson are the kick, the snare, the hi-hat, and the crash. Okay, so I'm going to post this picture along with the assignment so you can refer back to it. Now, going back to noflight.com, and we click on sign in using Google. Then use your Armani email address. And then I'm going to say to you that I'm going to teach an easy hip hop beat, and then later on a more complex reggaeton beat, okay, in this very same video. So for the assignment, you can either compose your hip hop beat or compose your reggaeton beat. Not both of them. I'm just going to teach how to compose for the two of them. You pick which one suits you the best. So we're going to click on create. Start from a blank score sheet. And then select the bottom staff. Delete. All right. Click on the title. Write the name, hip hop beat. Write your own name. Then we're going to change the tempo. We're going to write 80. If you see another tempo marking, delete that. Okay. Then click on parts and click on unpitched percussion drums standard. Okay. Now we're ready to go. Okay, so we're going to start using the eighth notes. So click on the eighth note rest. Then fill in eighth notes throughout one bar. And you have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay. Now, click on that first eighth note and then scroll down so that becomes another note that you can write with. And click on the kick or the first space. Then do the same thing for the second beat. Click on the hi-hat and then scroll down so that you're able to write some more. And write on the third space, which is a snare. I'm gonna write a kick on the and of 2, and then another kick on the end of 3. And then a snare on the 4 beat. So right now we have a full measure, and we can play this full measure. All right, so that's great. We can copy and paste. Copy, paste, copy, paste. Great. Now let's play the 4 measures. Click on the first beat. Great. Now I want to create an emphasis on the first beat. So I want to change that note to a crash. It's already highlighted orange. So I just type on the up arrow. That's easy. It changed to a crash. So now let's listen to it. Okay, so we have 4 bars. Now for this assignment, I want to write a total of 17 bars. 17. So I'm gonna highlight the 4th bar and then click on add measure after. So that will be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, now I want to set up the layout so that every system is only 4 measures. Okay, so that it looks really organized. So I select 4 measures and then I go to the 3-line menu over here on the left. I go to layout and then I click on create system. So I do that again with 4 measures, layout, create system. Again, 4 measures, layout, create system. And then the last one is the ending, 17th, all by itself. So now I can copy these 2 measures and then paste. Okay. Now, where's a good spot or good bar to once again hit a crash? I would say like in bar 9 would be a good place to hit a crash. So that very first bar had the crash in here. So I'm going to copy that one. Okay. And for the rest, I can just copy this. Right? So we have a crash on bar 1 and a crash on bar 9. Right? Another method that you could have done, so you see the difference or you see different options, is that I could just copy the entire first 8 measures and then paste them on bar 9. Okay? Different ways. Same result. Now, I want to end this and I want to possibly make a fill before the ending. So I'm going to delete this. A fill is kind of like a drum fill, a drum break, right? So I'm going to click on the 8th notes. So I click 2 8th notes on the snare and thumb 1, then maybe tom 2, and then tom 3, and then I end with kick and crash, but it must be a whole note, so I change it to a whole note, and then I want to add a crash as well. Okay, so there we go, and then I delete that. If another measure appears, delete that. Okay, let's see what's happening. So I'm trying to delete this. Delete measure. Okay, there's another option. There we go. Okay. So let's start from the beginning and hear it. Okay, so we have a full 16 measures of beat, ending with the 17th measure with a whole note and in kick with crash, and then a little drum fill over here. So that's ready to go. I'll make sure that you lay out the 4 measure maximum per system, and that it looks really organized like this. So now I'm ready to export. I look for the cloud export icon. Then I export full score PDF. Save. So I went to my downloads folder, and I also want to export as MP3 audio. MP3. So I click that, continue. It's loading. Okay, perfect. So close. Then I want to save. Save. Right here. Okay, and now I go to my profile. Now for this second beat, once again, it's a little bit more complicated. If you want to stick around for the end of this video tutorial. I suggest you do, because it's gonna be a fun beat. All right, so I go to my scores just to verify that I saved the hip hop beat correctly. Okay, so yeah, it's right there. Now I click on create. Start from blank score sheet. Then I'm going to delete the bottom staff. I'm going to write the title, Reggaeton beat. I'll write my name. Then I want to change the tempo. Now the perfect tempo for reggaeton is 95. So I'll write it here, 95. If I see another tempo marking appear, I delete that. Then I want to start using 16th note rest, or the 16th note symbol. Okay, I'm gonna write for hi-hat. Oh, but wait, first I must change the instrument. Drums standard. Okay, so I write 3 hi-hats and then a snare drum. Okay, then I want to go back to the first beat and write a kick drum. So it looks like that. Then I want to select the 8th notes, but not in that spot. So I go back. So I'm gonna click on do. So the 8th note will be on the 2nd beat. Okay, so right there. Okay, and I also want to write a hi-hat. So there we go. Next, a snare on the and of 2. Okay, then I want to go to 16th notes, and I'm going to repeat the first groove in the first beat once again. So 3 hi-hats and then a snare, and then go back to beat number 3 and write a kick. Then go to beat number 4, select the 8th note symbol, write a hi-hat and kick, and then snare. Okay, so that's the basic reggaeton groove. Now let's listen. Okay, let's listen again. Okay, so we can copy this bar, paste, paste, and paste. Okay, now I want to align the layout the same way that I did the hip hop beat. I want to create a system that only has 4 measures, like that. Okay, now I also maybe want to write a crash for that first beat. Okay. Now I want to also have a total of 17 measures. So I'm going to add measures after this one. So here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And the same thing, I want to select 4 and then set them up for a maximum of 4 bars in one system. Same thing here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Layout. Create system. And then same thing here. Layout. Create system. Okay, now we're ready to work with the full groove throughout the song. Okay, so select this measure, click shift and select the measure 4. Then I click command copy and then paste. Right, then again paste. Okay, then for this one I want to create a fill on this measure. So I'm going to click on the 16th note, tool, and write 4 16th notes on the snare. And then 4 on the first tom. And 4 on the third tom. Then 4 on the third tom, which is really low pitched. Okay, so that's my fill. Now I go back and I want to select the measure that had the crash. Copy. And in fact, I can at this point copy the whole thing. All right. So let me try that again. Select this first measure. I press on shift and then I go to this measure. Let me see. Okay, there we go. I click on copy and then select measure 9, paste. There we go. Now I want to end with a whole note on the kick. So I want it to be a whole note. So I select it and then change it. If that happens, select the note and change it once again. Okay, now I want to add a crash. All right. So that's my beat. I see that the program automatically added another measure. So what you do is select it and then click on minus, delete measure. Okay. So I want to play this from the beginning. So I select that first beat. Then I click play. Okay. Okay, I noticed that something happened that I did not want to happen. So that might happen to you. So I'm going to fix it. Okay, for some reason, the program copied this bar, which I don't want. Okay. So this bar must be the same as this one. So I'm going to fix that. Okay, I copy first bar and then I paste on bar 9. That's what I wanted. So I want to check that again. Okay, so I'm going to play from the beginning again just to verify that it sounds the way I want it to sound. Okay, so that is the reggaeton beat with the fills and with the ending with kick and crash. Okay, so once again, this one is more complicated. So if you decide to do the hip hop beat, which is simpler, that's totally fine. If you decide to do the reggaeton beat assignment, well, that's totally fine as well. Okay. Now I'm going to save, and then I want to export. Full score. Continue. Save. And then export MP3. MP3. All right, so just it's loading. So just wait for it. Now, as it's loading, once again, the things that you need to attach to the assignment are a PDF file and an MP3 file. Okay. Once again, choose one of the beats for you to do. Don't do both of them. Just choose one and then submit that one beat. Okay. And as it's loading, that's basically this week's lesson. For the future, we're going to learn how to write chords on the piano or keyboard instruments. And as we go on through the weeks, we're going to learn how to put it all together. Okay. So the final project will be a full composition using this program. So we will get there eventually. All right. So now the export is complete. So we have the Drumset Legend, which I'm going to post on the assignment. Looks like this. And you have your files downloaded in your downloads folder. Those are the ones that you're going to submit on the assignment. Once again, the live hours for music are on Mondays from 11:15 to 11:30. If you have any questions, please log in next Monday. And if you have any further questions, write me a message on the Google Classroom or write me an email at fgarcia@amanicharter.org. All right. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.